Suffering from anxiety can be extremely uncomfortable and confusing, and not knowing the causes can give you even more anxiety. So, let's focus today on what is it that is causing you anxiety, and you will be able to alleviate most of its symptoms. Today, you will learn that it's not your fault and you can do more than you think about it. My name is Carmen Roman. I'm a clinical psychologist and I have been working with anxiety for 2 years. And in this episode, I want to share with you the possible causes of your anxiety. So let's start. In prior episodes like Identify Your Anxiety and Do I Have Anxiety? We have talked more in depth about what anxiety is, and I recommend you go and check them after listening to this episode if you want to complete the information you will receive today. However, in this episode, I am only going to give you a short explanation of what this disorder is so we can go straight to the causes. I also recommend checking out our episodes. How do you calm your anxiety? And will my anxiety ever go away? If you would like to get some answers to the most common questions regarding anxiety. We can define anxiety as a difficulty to breathe, accompanied by feelings of discomfort and fear of losing control, be it in your personal life or professional. Anxiety is a stress related disorder. And even though some levels of stress are a normal response from our body to frightful or shocking situations, when you start experiencing continuous stress symptoms in your everyday life, which hinder your activities and tasks, then it is the right moment to start considering that you have anxiety. Now that you have this definition in your head, I am sure you could think of very few stressful situations that could lead to experiencing anxiety, or many situations. Anxiety can be caused by multiple reasons, and many factors can contribute to it, making it worse over time. However, sometimes it can be hard to pinpoint the exact reason for what is causing it. This is why today I want to share with you 6 possible causes of anxiety disorders. Let's start by number one, the medical conditions, medications, drugs, or other mental health issues. A very important thing to take into consideration when wondering where anxiety is coming from are other illnesses or mental health issues. Many physical problems or other mental health disorders can create or worsen your anxiety symptoms. So it is important to first make sure that this is anxiety and is not coming from a different issue. Following in the same line, if you are in fact suffering from another disorder, finding out that you have a medical condition and changing your life to accommodate treatment can also be a big anxiety trigger, as these new changes can cause fear and high levels of stress. And lastly, I will add addictions to this category. Becoming dependent on any drug can cause high levels of stress, therefore, creating anxiety and facilitating the path for other mental health issues. Number two, everyday stressful situations. Your current everyday life situations can also be a cause for anxiety. What may be seen as normal circumstances of adult life for some people, like having multiple events or tasks at work, due dates for bills, and household chores, can sometimes turn into a big stressor for many individuals, which can lead to experiencing anxiety symptoms. To understand why these situations can be so stressful, we can dig a bit deeper and add other factors to my earlier examples, like not only having multiple events at work, but having to deal with an angry boss all the time, or needing a bill due date while having financial problems. Oh, And finally, having multiple household chores while also having family problems or dealing with unhappy family members who may not always help with the chores. Although many situations in our daily life are usually swept under the rug, oh, we managed, yeah, they most definitely can be harmful to our mental health. And there is no shame in admitting it, that a situation may be more stressful or harder to handle than we initially thought. Number three, past experiences. In a lot of cases, the anxiety symptoms that a person experiences in the present have their roots in the past. Our experiences and how we handle them are the key to our current behaviors and thought patterns. This is why, if you happen to experience high levels of stress or even trauma when you were younger, there is a higher chance of experiencing anxiety in the years to come after those events, as your body will be set into a survival mode due to the pent up stress. Some examples of this can be experiencing your parents' divorce while you were a child, experiencing harsh treatment from a loved one, either family member or a friend, or being involved in any kind of accident. It is very important to know that sometimes the experience does not have to be entirely traumatic or gruesome to leave a mark on someone's mental health. Any experience that is still bothering you today and that you have not yet processed healthily can harbor more stress and end up causing you anxiety. Number four, poor behavioral habits. Not attending to your well being can also be extremely damaging to your mental health. In an era where we are living in a rush and the sole goal is to accumulate as many achievements as possible at any cost, it seems that is taking care of ourselves and being careful with how we use our body has come to a second place, or even to the last place for some people. When we disregard our needs and start taking on many projects or responsibilities that we can actually handle, we are creating unnecessary stress that cannot only take a toll on your mental health but also on your physical health. It is important to understand the limits that our body has and whether is it worth pushing ourselves for a project or situation that may not be really serve us in the long run. Ask yourself, is it worth it to lose sleep or skip meals to finish the project you will take on? It is also important to keep a clear mind about what you can and cannot do when you take a project into your hands, be it a work project or a personal project. This is because having unrealistic expectations of what we can do to make a situation or a project work can also be detrimental to our mental health. Trust me, I am telling you from experience. Burnout is real. Not that it doesn't mean that you cannot actually achieve what you want, but you must redirect your goals to a realistic approach so you can follow a path that not only has the gratification of achieving the goal, but also the gratification of taking care of yourself. Number five, diet and eating habits. What we eat and drink can have more impact on your mental health than you may think. If you are already experiencing anxiety symptoms, drinks that contain a high amount of caffeine, like coffee or these energy drinks, are not something that you should include in your everyday diet. I know. As these stimulants could be worsen symptoms like trouble sleeping, fastening your heart rate, and restlessness. The same thing happens with added processed sugars. Yes, sugars. It has been found by different studies that consuming high levels of sugar can weaken your ability to respond to stress and cause higher feelings of anxiety. If you really need to eat sugar, probably 72% of higher of dark chocolate could be good, or a piece of fruit. How we eat the things we eat is another important thing to mention. If you are one to eat while working, studying, or simply being busy with something, then setting at least 10 minutes to eat peacefully should be your next goal. Eating while working can seem like a good time saving tip, but truthfully, it only adds to the stress that work is already harboring in your body. And it can lead to experiencing burnout and fatigue since you are really never taking a break from any of your work. Number six, the overuse of social media. Lastly, your use of social media can also be a huge risk factor when it comes to developing anxiety. Although social media has a lot of good sides, it also has a fair amount of downsides. The first one will be losing track of time while using them. In the last years, we have seen an increase of fast consuming content. These short videos encourage you to keep watching more and add the illusion of, well, it is a short video, so it won't take that much of my time. Truth is, these videos and apps will take more of your time than you initially thought, keeping you from doing some other viral everyday things, which will eventually accumulate in your to do list and lead to stress and anxiety. Plus, spending so much online can also take away the opportunity of spending quality time with the ones you love, creating feelings of isolation and loneliness and hindering you from having deeper friendships, more meaningful relationships. Yeah. Social media can also create a need for knowing what else is up to and how you can live more like them instead of trying to follow your own path. I remember the days when no social media, summers with no social media, and it was just fascinating to be able to hide myself 2 months from my classmates. 2 months! When I was in college, I would go home, rest, and not see that much of my colleagues, friends, or co-students. Yeah, and it was a nice rest, so I will come more refreshed back in September. Now you don't have that luxury. Seeing other people traveling a lot, always partying and experiencing life like we think is the fullest, creates the illusion of missing out in a variety of things. And it lures you into believing your life is not enough and it is, or that you are not so cool or fun, generating feelings of shame, fear, and anxiety. Remember, they post their best picture, and we tend to select what we post. So you get to see the best of the best. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully some people do that. But then you get to have the idea that your life is not like them. That's not nice. However, the reality is that this content is carefully curated and sometimes fabricated. So you will add unnecessary stress and feelings of fear and anxiety. Okay, now we know the causes of anxiety, what I can do about it. Yeah? So I'm going to create for you another episode. And if you are in YouTube and you are watching the second week, you will see this video after this one. Please share. Share with your family members and friends. I think they will love you because you will look so smart and so informed. And by the way, you will help them to prevent or ease their symptoms of anxiety. This is Carmen Roman. Please, if you are in YouTube or come to YouTube, Emotions in Harmony, and subscribe, you will help tremendously our nonprofit to be seen, to be consumed the content by others. Okay? Bye for now.